Welcome, Family Mess fans. We are a sponsor of the upcoming Myself workshop for teen girls that will be held in Lake Mary on July 31st. This workshop is the first of its kind here and will focus on core self-values such as self-confidence, self-respect, self-worth, self-image, and self-love. So if you have a teen daughter or know someone that does, you got to check out this workshop. 2 more weeks to register, so don't miss out. Mention you heard it here on the Family Mess podcast to receive a $10 discount. For more information, call Rita Box Coaching at 407-554-5667.
I'm trying to keep my brother safe, okay?
Oh
from
my
the
God.
corona.
Hey, has he
Is Marty
50% lung capacity.
riding bikes every weekend for the last several weeks?
Yeah, but that ain't equate to not a darn thing on my pants or on the scale.
Kim,
but I've been riding.
Hey, Kim, listen
How
to
do
this.
you guys do with the bike? How do you guys do with the bike? So do you like wear your mask when you're riding your bike?
Oh, hell no. I wear no mask.
I don't wear mask.
And then I know that I remember one time when John, he came home.
Your husband.
And then he
That's
was
okay.
like, oh, yeah, my husband. He's like, oh, you're always teaching them about Black history. Why don't you teach them about Irish history? And I was like, do I look Irish to you?
Hey guys, if it's crazy,
All right, go ahead. Go now.
Wait. Get out of there! Oh my God! Hey guys, welcome to the Family Mess. I'm Noah, and have a nice day. Good God!
I love the family mess.
Go ahead, baby!
Oh,
Welcome to the Family Mess podcast. I'm your host, Ian, and this is my wife and co-host, Natalie. The Family Mess, the podcast about life with kids and all things adulting. Let's talk. Natalie. Saturday, recording. It's been a crazy 3 weeks. Corona's back again, and everybody's losing their minds. What do you think? What's going on?
I think I'm here and I'm surviving.
This is. Why do you always say this every time we start a show?
Because I am here. I'm here.
Say something positive for the audience so they can hear your voice. Just say it.
I am thoroughly enjoying my
That's fake.
time at
Don't-
the house.
don't be fake,
and
though.
Not being able to go
Damn.
anywhere and do anything for the last how many weeks. But yes, it's been great.
Well, the Corona is back again in our lives, and Florida's the number 1 state in the union right now with the uptick. I don't know why everyone's acting so surprised about this. I'm not. I got to go to work still. But let's go ahead and introduce our guest today.
Yes, we're keeping with our family and friends theme. So,
Go ahead, Natalie, introduce them.
oh well, I guess since they're my family, I guess
Yes,
because
I have no
you ain't got
family.
no family. We still ain't got none yet.
I'm the biggest loser in this house.
I'm trying to get Ian to get some family so we can interview them.
I have. Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't going there. But anyway, so
Go ahead.
So I'd like to introduce my cousin Kim and my cousin and her daughter, who's also my cousin, Kennedy, who's also our social media manager.
That's right.
And we talked to Kennedy a few weeks ago. So,
That's right. This is going to be a great show today.
All right.
That's why she's laughing.
So yeah, before we get into the show, I'm going to start off with my 5 minutes of pound segment.
Yes.
I wish I didn't have this segment because I ain't done a dang thing.
She hasn't.
But I'm going to say this. I did go to the doctor. And I asked her about, I said, I need to lose this weight. I need to, so she told me about the South Beach diet. And so actually today I was online, not even thinking about the show, but I was online today because I'm just tired of being fat. I got to get this weight off. And I went online to the South Beach diet and I realized most of my problem is I don't have time to cook because I'm really busy right now. And they have a meal plan and you can order the food. So I'm about to order the food for the South Beach diet. And so I will have my food always ready. And that's my new thing. So I have not gained any weight, but I have not really lost any weight. I'm just the same every damn week.
I thought we were trying to save money on food.
I don't give a crap. I need this. I need to get this weight off. So I am going to try the South Beach diet because the doctor recommended it. She lost over 80 pounds. She looked really good on the South Beach diet. She told me to get the book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she told me to get the book. They have a meal plan thing where I don't have to prepare the food. All I got to do is go in the fridge, find the food, put it in the microwave, and eat. So as easy as I can.
How much do these meals cost?
Right now, there's different plans.
That means this is going to be very expensive because she didn't even answer me.
Well, no, it's
she's
like
explaining. Let's hear this. Go ahead.
You know what? Anyway, so they have like 3 levels: gold, platinum, and
Damn.
gold, silver, and platinum.
Oh, Jesus.
So they start at $100 up to around, like right now it's on sale, so it's around $300
$300
for a month. For a month of food. This is breakfast, lunch, dinner. You may have to get some eggs and snacks and protein shakes.
What did you just say?
Oh, it's $11.87 a meal.
No. How much a month?
$300.
And you're complaining about trying to save money on food, and you're going to buy this plan for food.
Because you know what? I work hard, and I need this. I need to lose this weight. I need to feel good in my body, and I'm going to buy the damn food because I work hard for my money, so I'm going to spend it. Yes, I guess we do need to save on money on food, but this is for me. So that's where I'm at. So right now.
And you should do what you need to do for yourself.
Thank you, Kim. See, there we go.
Don't be like what our parents did.
That's right. We can't just give it all and don't give to ourselves. Yep. Right?
Exactly.
That's why I try. That's why we're trying to teach the younger generation of women as they come up. Don't be letting life just suck you dry. And then, your spouse and everybody, they just take, and they leave you with nothing. And you're supposed to just, you're supposed to always be looking cute and doing all this when you got to do everything for everybody else. So,
you're sitting at home looking fat.
Right?
What is the show about today?
Right now we talk about weight. But anyway, so that's where I'm at, though. I have made some progress. I'm trying to do more mindfulness activities and things like that and start to do some meditation. And I'm starting to claim, like, state things and claim them as happening. So that's kind of where I'm at with my pounds. The pounds ain't moved nowhere, but I'm making progress as far as finding things that work for me and who I am.
Well, we have been riding bike. We didn't do it today, but we've been riding bikes every weekend for the last several weeks.
Yeah, but that ain't equate to not a darn thing on my pants or on the scale.
Kim,
but I've been riding.
Hey, Kim, listen to this.
How do you guys do with the bike? So do you wear your mask when you're riding your bike?
Oh, hell no. I wear no mask.
I don't wear mask outside. I wear mask inside.
No, because the virus ain't going to fly through the air and go in your nose.
No, one thing I will say I do,
right?
If I do pass somebody, I do hold my breath.
Oh, I do too.
I hold my breath for about 4 seconds.
Do you remember that one weekend, Kim, Noah and I were riding a bike, and I'm like, oh, there's not that many people here. We were in the car looking, and all of a sudden we look at the trail. There's 20 people in the crowd on the trail. I looked at Noah. I'm like, we're not riding our bike today, son. We're just going to go ahead and do something else. I'm not trying to catch it.
Well, I go opposite. I go where people aren't. I go to the neighborhoods sometimes. I go on the trail, but I go early in the morning where there's not a lot of people. But I do hold my breath, but I don't wear a mask outside.
No, I usually don't either.
It's hard. I tried to do walking because I'm returning in my gym membership. And I tried to go for a walk. Well, I went for a walk a couple of times, but I brought my mask with me because every time I saw people, I would hurry up and have to fight and put my mask on my face every time they were on the sidewalk with me. And I was getting very frustrated. I was like, why don't they have a mask on? And they're aggravating me. Because then I couldn't see. My glasses were fogging up.
That's
see
true.
Where I was going.
It is hard to wear glasses and a mask.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's tough wearing masks outside.
Yeah, I don't wear it outside because based on what I've read, based on the stuff that I've read, that's why I don't wear one outside because, you're in a larger space. Unless I'm walking right into somebody after, they've done something, it's not that likely you'll not that I know from what I've read. I'm not a doctor, but that's why I don't wear them.
The research says most of the people that are catching the virus are in crowds in a space inside a building. Right. That's where most of these cases are happening. Not usually outside, but inside an enclosed building where there's 10 or more people in a group.
Right, and then you got the air conditioner circling the air, people cough or whatever. So or they're talking and the things come out. So that's why I don't wear. If I go in a building anywhere, I have a mask on, but I don't wear a mask outside. So
me too. Anywhere in a building I go, I wear a mask, and I wear the N95 mask too.
Yes,
the one that can't make you breathe because it's working.
Yeah, that's the one that I wear. Yes, that's the one that I wear.
Well, all right. We want
to. Mask.
So Kim and Kennedy, we want to thank you for being on today. So when we're going to talk about, Kim is my cousin. And Kim is married to a white gentleman.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about raising biracial kids in the current climate, as it relates to, maybe differing opinions, just having to, for a child being on both sides.
Is someone breathing in the mic?
To hear both sides. So, so Kim, tell us a little bit about your family.
Okay, it's me and my husband, and then we have 3 daughters.
And their
We had
ages?
the oldest one. The oldest one is 21.
Me. No, I'm gonna be 23.
And that's,
What?
How old are you? I'm gonna be 23 this year.
oh, dang,
Oh,
you're
sorry.
23, Kennedy? Oh, gosh, I didn't realize you were that old.
That's what I said.
Oh,
Oh, that's right. I
damn.
guess right. She did do 4 years of college.
Hey, Kim, that's really bad.
That is bad.
That's how.
I
No,
for some reason I thought you were 21 and I just stopped counting.
that's how time flies, though. I get it, Kim, because that's how time
I
flies
can imagine
by.
Kennedy's face. She don't even know how old I am. 23.
That Kennedy, that means you look youthful. You look youthful. So
Oh, that was
you
funny.
ain't aged any.
Oh, I love it.
All right, so we got Kennedy at 23, maybe 21.
Okay.
Okay, so well, she's 22, and then I've got my middle one who is 19, and then I have my youngest one who I believe she'll be turning 17 in July.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
gosh.
So-
Oh, man.
17?
I didn't realize all your kids were so
Yeah.
old, Kim.
Damn.
Yeah,
It's been a while since I've
yep.
seen everybody.
My gosh.
Yep. 17 in July. Can't wait till everyone leaves.
Oh.
Get that nest back.
Oh.
Exactly.
Are they planning? Are your two youngest planning to go on to school, or are they just going to get jobs? What are they going to do?
Well, right now, Ryan is here. She's 19.
No name.
Oh, sorry. She's 19. And she was supposed to start going to SCC or one of the
No,
colleges.
you're giving away her
Oh,
call.
sorry.
Don't tell it.
We got blocked out. She's supposed to go to a community college, but, you know, with the corona and everything happening, I gave her she wanted to take like a year off. And then she was going to try to go to the jungle or do some work with animals, but that never panned out.
Oh, wow.
And then she
The jungle.
took a year off, and she was supposed to start like in the she wanted to do something in the Everglades.
Oh, like the real jungle, not like a jungle like a building. Okay.
Yeah, like she wanted to do something in the Everglades, but all the stuff the programs were kind of iffy, and I wasn't sure, so I was like, I don't know if you should be going to that. So, but she is supposed to start. She was supposed to start when Corona started, so she didn't get to start school yet. And then my other one is doing school at home, you know, online school, which has been literally hell.
No.
What grade is
So,
she in? What grade?
Yeah.
Is she a junior?
Brooke, yeah, she's a junior this year.
Okay.
But it was funny because she started the online. What she did this year really made me upset because she was supposed to take, she said she was going to take some online classes. I was like, fine. But she literally took 4 online classes. So she got up, went to school at 8, and came back home by 11. I'm like, you're a junior and you don't have a car, so you're not supposed to be doing that. That's for your senior year. So she kept messing up with the online classes, kept getting emails from the teachers, whatever. So that was making me upset with her. Then the corona happened, and then, you know, then they had to do more online schoolwork.
Yeah.
So it was worse. I even had like a teacher literally, he called me one time Saturday, and then he was like, oh, you know, she didn't blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I'll talk to her. And then next thing you know, Monday morning, I'm sleeping in my bed, 7 o'clock, the phone rings. I hear Kim. I'm like, who is this? It's the teacher.
What the hell?
He's like, she still did not do blah and blah, Miss, you know, Kim. And I was like, what? And so then I had to get up and, you know, it's just been stressful with that. And it's stressful to even know because now it's going to be your senior year coming up. And they're like, you can keep them home to do online school or you can send her to school. But, you know, the whole corona thing, I'm waiting to see what the school board is going to do, like how they're going to clean and do all that stuff, which I want to try to find a meeting to go to.
Oh, boy.
So that's what's been going on. And then we've been talking a lot. I mean, in our house, we always talk about a lot of African-American history, Black history. I talk a lot of women issues with the girls because it's 3 girls that I have. My husband, he was in the military, and so he was away a lot. And then because he was like overseas in different places, and then when he got out of the military, then he was contracting and he was still away a lot. He was overseas in different countries a lot. So it was mainly like the girls and I. So I usually would teach them, like I said, a lot of Black history, important people, things about like women's rights, and, you know, everything you're supposed to teach a girl. That's kind of how I feel.
Mom is this documentary because me and my friends that would come over, my best friend, she'd always come over. And right before college, she made us watch The Hunting Ground, which is like about college rape and everything. So after that, me and my friend were very traumatized when we got to school.
Did you say college rape?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, rape and
The
everything.
Hunting
We were
Ground?
traumatized.
Damn.
Is that the one
Yeah,
about
it was
the
called
serial
The
killer at the college at like UF
No,
or something?
Not the killer. It was did Lady Gaga lead the documentary?
Yeah, it was a document by Lady Gaga had funded it, but it was a documentary talking about the new rape titles for the schools and which schools, like all the different schools, about the rape
All the
culture
and
and things like that. Just how girls could protect themselves, things that happened to other girls, how the schools weren't having the backs of the victims and different things like that. And I showed them these.
Yeah.
I show them these documentaries and things, and I like to talk to them about it.
No, that's good.
To try to teach them, you know, like, okay, so you know not to do this, and you know not to do this. And I know being a woman, you know, we should be able to do anything that we want to do without the fear of getting hurt or someone doing stuff to us. But that's not the world we live in. Oh, sorry. But that's not the world we live in. You know, we don't live in that world where we can just, you know, just take a drink from somebody, or, you know, even your own friends, you have to be, you know, leery of it.
Yep.
And then the girls also always complain. I never let them go spend the night at people's houses too much because I didn't know them. I didn't know who was in their house. And I didn't do that. You know, their friends could come over here mainly. I'd let, like, when I got to know the families a little bit better, when the kids got older, then I would kind of let them go spend the night. But I would talk to them, and I'm like, you know, if anyone does anything to you, you tell me. I don't care what the person says, what the person threatens you. If he says he's going to, you know, burn our house down, if he says he's going to kill our dogs, if he says he's going to hurt me, I don't care. You tell me, no matter what.
That's good. Kim ain't
And I
playing.
always also put that into them.
Yeah, it's definitely good when you have girls not to take any chances. You can't take any chances, you know, not ever. Oh,
exactly.
So Kim,
exactly.
how
and
has
then
it been? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And we've watched also a lot of documentaries. Like, you know, we watched The Four Black Girls, and I can't even remember half of it. We watched Roots. We've watched so many different African movies, and I talk to them about it. We'll have a dialogue, and I even their friend that's Caucasian, and I drag her butt in, and I make her watch the stuff too.
Yeah, we had a movie night.
So Kennedy, how has that experience been for you? Because I know I have a niece who's biracial. Her mom is white, and my brother's black, but they live in England, and when she came to visit once, when she was like, you know, when I was a little younger, I was probably in my Malcolm X phase or whatever. But
Malcolm X,
like she. Well, you read the books and stuff. You know, when you start to read,
you're
and
a fighter. Okay.
Well, you when you become aware,
Woke.
of
yeah,
yes, kind of thing. So at a younger age, which is different from when you're an adult. But anyway, so my niece, you know, her parents had never talked to her about race, and in England, it's a little bit different, a little bit better than it is here. And so I brought up some things to her, and poor, I don't think they sent her back after her. So
now they traumatized the poor girl.
No, I didn't. I just enlightened her. No, I didn't. I opened her eyes to some things.
You opened her eyes.
But her parents, her brother and my sister, they'd never talked to her about anything like that. And they knew that there were differences or whatever.
They don't. They don't. And that's the problem. I think I don't mean to generalize it, but I think there's a difference when the mothers are black. I feel like when you have a black mother, that they kind of teach their kids a little bit more about their blackness than if it was a Caucasian mother.
Right, because they have to put a lot more effort into it. Yeah, they have to, because it's not the life that they live, so they have to put more effort into finding out information and learning in order to teach their child.
That's a true statement.
Right. Yes, because I'm in some groups to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think that Yeah, it's weird because I know, like the girls, they'll say, you know, they mainly identify as Black, you know, but they're considered biracial, which they know they're biracial, and they do say, oh, I'm biracial, but they have a lot of standpoints as a Black person.
Right.
You know,
Well,
about race.
Oh, wait, Kennedy, what were you saying, Kennedy?
I'm saying we were just raised as, like, Black individuals because, like, our whole family is primarily Black, right? And, like, we didn't, even though,
Well, the
like, my
family
dad
that you
said
were
was
raised
there-
around, I guess, because isn't your dad's family's in another area, most of them?
But Ryan, I mean,
with
Kennedy,
that- with
would
that
you
side of the
really
family-
say that? Because, I mean, our
Say what?
family is completely mixed. Our family is completely mixed up.
Well, yeah,
We're mixed up with so many people.
Yeah.
But everyone in our family is not fair skinned, though, you know? So, like,
Yeah,
Laura, Don, all my cousins and grandma, and
Just say
the
their
only ones
names.
that really was when dad's parents or my grandparents and everything. That's really.
Yeah.
Right,
But
so-
I
And then they
feel-
passed away when they were young.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah,
so you were mostly, that's what I'm saying, so you were
young, and I would say
mostly,
a lot of my cousins.
so you were mostly
Yeah,
raised around your mom's family, right? Which is Black people. I mean, we're all, yes, we
Yeah.
are mixed because we have white, we have all kind of ethnicities, Indian, all kind in our family.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, we're still, like, everyone else still is, like, no one's really super fair or anything like that.
Yeah. And then I know that I remember one time when John, he came home.
Your husband.
And then he
That's
was
okay.
like, oh, yeah, my husband. He's like, oh, you're always teaching them about Black history. Why don't you teach them about Irish history? And I was like, do I look Irish to you?
Funniest thing I've ever heard.
And then what was his response?
That's what I said. I said, if you want to teach them about Irish history, you can teach them about Irish history, but do I look Irish? I said, no, I don't look Irish.
So Candy, did your dad ever talk to you about any Irish history?
You know, that's a good question.
That means no.
I mean,
Yeah,
he might have, but honestly,
Yeah.
I don't really remember. I just know our last name is, like, super Irish.
Yeah, and then he
Murdoch.
also he's
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
we
and
don't
it's
have our spelling is not the CH, which I believe is the Americanized.
American. Yeah,
Yeah.
I never thought about that. You're right. Yeah. Never thought
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we could, like, apparently, because I had a teacher who was very, like, I guess he was, like, straight from Ireland or something like that, but he had, like, a like this infographic of, like, the original Irish tribes and stuff, and Murdoch was one of the names, but it was spelt with the CK.
Oh, interesting.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he
And I remember,
sorry,
when I was younger, they messed up all my last name stuff and put CH.
Really? They just changed
Yeah.
it for you?
They did it on purpose.
We
They
had
did
to
it
go
on
change
purpose.
yeah,
Yeah, they have
exactly. So we would change that. We're like, no, it's CK, because everyone's like, no. I'm like, it's not C, it's CK, and I'm like, I don't know. That's supposedly the original Irish version of it. And then they just look at me because usually it's me filling out the forms and stuff.
So Kennedy, Kennedy, right now with all the stuff that's going on in the world, you know, how do you feel like you I guess what's your perspective, or how do you think you fit into everything, and how do you engage that with the world? Like, how do you deal with all the stuff that's going on as someone who's biracial, who, even though you mostly may identify as Black, but, you know, you still have the other side and you hear the other side. Sometimes you hear some of those views from the other side, knowing that, you know, you're biracial. How is that?
So it's kind of weird because there are some people, like, it's really weird. I would say, like, my perspective is more from, like, what makes sense, and I think that at least, you know, racism, it just doesn't make sense. And with that as, like, how I identify with myself, sorry, I'm like trying to, like, think this through. So it's hard because I just feel a lot for it, you know, and it's just, I don't know, it hurts my feelings. It's like seeing everything that's happening and
Right.
stuff.
I
and
can
it's
relate to
just-
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just kind of crazy because there's a lot of people that from the 2016 election, like that I thought were my friends, and I think that it was with everything that's kind of going on.
Yep.
With everything that's kind of going on, I think it was a big wake up call because, like, what my mom said, she always showed us documentaries and everything and all that stuff, and like we kind of. Not really that we didn't know it exists because, like, I've seen things that happened to my mother that was racial profiling before, and that, like, hurt my feelings and stuff, but I never, at least in terms of things that would happen with my mom, or it wasn't super common.
All right. So wait, go back real quick. So you mentioned, like, some of your friendships, have deteriorated or were impacted from the election. Do you mind expanding on any of that or any kind of situations?
Yeah. So a lot of people, growing up, we like in Oviedo, I would say, Mom, it's like a high white population, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was a big white population in my schools and stuff. I mean, they were like not super diverse. Like there was maybe like 2 Asian kids. I mean, obviously a fair amount of like Spanish people and like some black people, and then there was like, primarily like white. So all my friends ended up, not all of them, but a lot of them were white and everything. And, it's just like when you're around being just like, it's different, but I still like identified as a black person. And then getting in high school with the elections and stuff that were going on, I just saw a lot of people saying like, build that wall. And they're saying you need just a lot of like things that I didn't think I would hear out of people like discriminating against other people, and it was kind of crazy. So it was like a big, I would say, like eye opener. And I stopped kind of associating myself with those people
right.
After I heard like that stuff because it's
hurtful.
It was kind of crazy.
It's very hurtful.
And I don't know if you remember too, like at their high school, I remember when my middle child went, and it was after the elections. I can't remember what they wrote on the wall in the bathroom. It was something like y'all ends are
derogatory.
Yeah, like y'all ends are getting ready to be slaves again.
Oh man, dang.
After Trump had won. And then I remember my middle one, she took a picture of it on the wall in the bathroom, and then she sent it to me. And then I remember I was like, oh, okay. And so I called the school. And then also I sent that picture to my cousin. And then I think my cousin either posted it on Facebook or sent it to like the newspaper or sent it to the news or something. And they did a report on it.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, that was like literally like the week after he was elected. And it like, and everything changed. Even like the conversations that I had, like when I met and married my husband, okay, don't do this, you guys. Make sure you know someone for a good long time before you marry them. Like, don't just like know them for like, 3 months, 6 months, whatever, and then get married, because that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
but you loved him. You know how it works. But I loved him.
Yeah, exactly. I was totally in love. Oh, I loved him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there were things that were like a warning sign, and they were flashing because I had also worked for his family at the time, and
but Daddy can't help his family.
His grandmother never talked to black people.
Oh, wow.
On his mom's side. So I had worked at the place, and the grandmother would be there sometimes. And so you'd be in the kitchen, you'd come in the kitchen sometimes, because they had like a group home and we took care of kids. And so you'd be in the kitchen, and so this old lady comes in and she'll see you, but it's like she don't see you. She never said anything to you. And I'm like, well, if she ain't saying anything to me, I ain't saying nothing to her. So I wouldn't talk to this old lady. So it's because she didn't like black people. And then I remember after my husband and I got married, she was at his mom's house. And I was over there that day. And so she was on the couch, and I think I was on like the couch or something. And then there was like a soap opera that was on or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, something was going on with the soap opera. So I was like talking to myself about it. And then so she was like, oh, well, you watched that? And da-da-da. And I was like, oh yeah, my mom, watched this. And that's where my name came from, which is so stupid, from one of the soap opera
Your mom loved the soaps for sure.
Yes. Yes. She named me Kim from the soap opera. I think All My Children Are Young and the Restless. I was like, really? Yeah. No, As the World Turns, she's like, I love Kimberly from As the World Turns. That's where I got your name from. I'm like, thanks, Mom. So anyway, so then she was talking to me, and so her and I started talking, and then I remember his mom was in the kitchen, and I believe so was his sister and him, and then they were all like quiet, and they're like, Mom is actually talking to Kim. Oh my gosh. Like, it was a big deal that she was talking to me because she doesn't talk. And then this was their, she's not racist. It's because, like, I don't know, 100 years ago, because the lady was old, 100 years ago, she got
great grandma or something.
She got like pushed down by a black person.
Oh.
And since then, she's been afraid of them.
So she's traumatized, like getting bit by a dog when you're younger, and you're traumatized forever,
exactly. Right? Supposedly,
I'm afraid of all dogs now.
So Kim,
don't bite
so
me.
how did that dynamic play out with your husband having a family who may have not had a lot of exposure to other races, and then now you guys have kids?
They did have exposure to other races. It's just that they were racist.
Yeah,
they did have exposure to other people, but they were just they. I mean, there was one time when I was over there, and I'm going to tell the story, Kennedy. Sorry, and
Go ahead.
we were eating dinner. It was my husband. It was his mother. It was his stepfather, but that was his dad. That's the one who raised him. And him and I, we were eating, and then for some reason she was telling me a story because my husband and his dad used to also lay blacktop and stuff like that. And so she was telling me a story about how they did this joke on this black guy at work. So she was laughing about the joke they did. But the thing she said was literally, she said, and I'll never forget, as she's laughing, she said, I'll never forget. They said they never saw a nigger run that fast.
Oh, she said that?
She said that.
Oh, those are fighting words. Those are fighting words right there.
I looked at her, and then I remember my husband, he just put his head down. He just turned his head to the ground and was red. And then his dad was like, you need to go to bed now. Come on, let's go. You're tired. So he started dragging her off.
So, but what did she say?
She did that on purpose. That's what she did.
No, you know what? You get caught up in the moment, and what you've always said just comes out instead of what.
Comes out.
Yeah. That's why she did it. She didn't even think about it. She just did it.
Yeah, because I mean,
she did not even think. She did not think about it.
She was she was comfortable in her environment and in the situation, so she just talked.
Well, she was very comfortable because Kim's sitting right there, so obviously she's very comfortable enough to say it.
Well, yeah, but
that's my whole point. I mean,
she was just so comfortable to say it. And then I remember her husband dragged her off to bed and stuff like that. And then I remember my husband was like apologizing. Like, I should have ran then. I should have been like, you know what? I'm out. That's what I should have done. And then also, I'll never forget too. She used to sit down like my nephew, or he's my nephew, but he's older than me. So he had two little girls, and they were Spanish and black mix, and so their hair texture is different. So she used to love those little girls, and she would sit there and hold them and brush their hair and play with their hair and say how pretty they were. And all she would say, she said it to me, she said it to my sister, she said it to my mom, because my mom, they also worked there for an agency. And she would say, oh my gosh, when Kim and, my son have a kid, is their hair going to be like this? I hope to God their hair is going to be like this. I hope to God their hair is going to be like this. And then I would say, no, their hair is going to be like mine.
Why you bursting the bubble, Kim?
Yes,
Why you
Kim.
bursting-
I like you, Kim. Yes. Fight the power. Yes.
She would just be quiet and not say, but then she'd go and ask my sister. And my sister would be like, it could possibly turn out like that. And I'm like, well, why would you tell her that if I told her their hair is going to be like mine?
Right.
We got to be on the same page.
Exactly.
So Kennedy, did you ever experience any of that kind of stuff with, and how did you deal with that if you did? Like any of the racial kind of things?
Now it's hard to say, but like with my grandparents and stuff, I didn't really experience any of that.
Yeah,
that's
good.
Good.
They loved her.
They loved me.
They loved them. Yeah, they loved them unconditionally. I mean, they would run me and my husband over for them. They were perfect grandparents. I mean, they were really good.
So they kind of learned and adapted and adjusted to what they knew before.
They adapted and adjusted. They well, I don't know if they really learned, but I think their love overcame what they were raised in, because they just they loved them so much and stuff like that. And I remember there'd be times when my father-in-law, he's like, come on, girls, and he would take them, and I'm like, no, I've got to comb their hair, and he's like, no, I'm just gonna put a hat on their head. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, damn. He don't get it. Yeah, he don't understand.
Anyone that did my hair other than my mom, I hated it, because no one could see my hair and it'd be a mess and I'd be so embarrassed. But my dad and my grandpa, they said,
my niece had
yeah.
Man, my poor niece had that, man. She had to end up wearing braids all the time, because that hair thing is a major.
I don't think
they would be like,
hello?
No, she's there.
Hello?
No,
here.
I was going to say, I don't think a lot of white people understand the importance of black women in their hair. That's like a very important thing.
Yeah.
And when you have these males that have daughters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because my dad... Oh, hold on. She's disconnected. Hold on. I'll add her. Give me a second.
Oh.
That's what happened.
She went off the...
She
okay.
got disconnected.
I thought
oh,
she...
I'm sorry.
She's back.
That was my fault, because I'm not used to the AirPods, and when I press them, they hang up.
Oh, I thought you'd have stopped talking to us.
No, I press them and they hang up, and I keep forgetting that's what happens when you press them.
So have you guys?
No, Daddy, our dad never understood. I could say that's one thing. Even when I would get I used to put in partial weaves and stuff, or I'd get braids in my hair. My dad's always like, "Get all that shit out of here." Literally, I'm like, you just don't understand, father.
He was so annoying with that. He would be like, "Why don't you just wear your hair?" And I'd be like, it is my hair because I bought it and I paid for it. That's what I would tell him. I'm like, I bought it and I paid for it, so it is my hair.
He
and
and
stuff like that.
Wear your hair out. It's beautiful.
Exactly.
Which is nice. It's nice that he said that. He wasn't like, your hair's gross or anything. He's always like, wear your hair out. It's beautiful. But I'm like, I don't want to wear my hair out. I want to put braids in.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. It's all about the variety.
Whatever with my hair. Exactly. And then I would tell him, I'm like, you've got to learn. I'm like, black women like the salon. We go to the salon, we get our hair done. I know the people, you're not used to this, because I was the first black girl he ever dated, and then he ended up being married.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
And your husband is kind of
I like your husband.
he's I don't have a problem with him, but I just know he is not.
He's cool.
I one thing I would say, he is not the typical white guy I would see married to a black woman. That I will say.
You know
that.
what? Everybody, let me tell you a story. So
I didn't see it.
There was a friend of Annie's, right? Oh,
keep
there was
going.
a friend of my niece.
I will not stop. This is all going in.
We can edit it out.
She would we've been going out. I've been hanging out with them for a year or 2 years, because like I said, my husband was always out of town. So I would hang out with Annie and this couple of her friends sometimes, and she was this Caucasian girl, and she knew I was married to somebody, but she never met him. We never said what race he was or anything like that. So one night he was in town, and then they were going to I can't remember, some country music club, which I was just like, whatever. So I went just because he likes that music and stuff.
Country.
So we went there. And then we were outside, we walked inside, and then I remember, so I came upon her friend. So she was like, oh my God, girl, hey, how are you doing? And then she was like hugging me. And then I noticed she was like acting weird. And then she whispered in my ear, she goes, who is this guy? My God, every time you go out, guys seem to follow you all the time. And I'm going to pretend like we're together to get rid of him for you. And I was like, and I started laughing, and she's like, well, why are you laughing? I said, because that is my husband.
Oh.
And she was like, what? Well, what? She goes, oh my God. She goes, you're married to him? She's like, you're married to him? Someone that looks like him? She said, I would have never guessed that.
Oh, man. Oh, I love it.
I would have never guessed you were married to this type of white guy. Like, I was not expecting
he's kind of, he's kind of, like, he's kind of like a country kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
When I first saw him, I'm like, who's this guy?
Yeah, because I had a friend though. She dated her first time ever dating a white guy, and she was like,
I remember this.
She was like, what's that? What's the game? The beanbag?
Where you toss it in the cornhole.
Yeah. So because it was funny for me listening to her because she had culture shock. Like she on the other side of the coin had culture shock. She's like, he only has flip flops, and he plays cornhole. And I mean, I was just like, and she was like, "What is this cornhole?" And I
was like, "You don't know what cornhole is?" It's just
the because for me, you've always kind of heard it the flip side, but I'd never heard of a black person and then having to be around a white person dating. And the culture shock that she had, and she was like, and I was like, well, you just got to find someone because he was more of a country type. And so she ended up breaking up with the guy because I think there was just too much differences for her, especially him being kind of country and not getting a lot of things. Because it's different when you're kind of, if you're a white person, but you get it, you know what I mean? Then versus then you're a country kind of, I hate to say country, but
go ahead and say it again.
Kind of like the Dixie flag carrying people. I mean, that's what I mean.
But that's what my husband is.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I say what I say.
I can say for a fact, Daddy's never carried one or had one of those.
No, but it's like it's unfortunately it's a stereotype. But that's what we're kind of like. Just to give a general description is what that's what the purpose is for.
That's exactly right, because he was upset that they took the flag off for the General Lee. He was talking about it, and I'm like, get over it.
And so how do you so like, okay, so for Kennedy, when your dad's kind of, you're more like, I guess, to the black side, and he's more of the side where they don't always get it. How do you deal with that? Have you ever had to kind of, how do you process that?
We just, the last time my dad was down, me and my sisters and my friend and my best friend were in the pool yelling at him. We were all yelling at him.
What did he do?
And her best friend's Caucasian.
We weren't, I mean, he didn't do anything, but we weren't like yelling at him, but we were having a discussion, about just
because he doesn't get it.
It's hard. It's really weird.
To me,
here, let me talk, Mother.
Wait, no, but to me,
let me talk.
Hold on.
It seems to me that when he was like here with us a lot more, it seemed like he was kind of normal. But then when he started doing more of the contracting jobs, and I don't know what they do. I don't know if it's a bunch of guys in a circle. I don't know exactly what's going on with them. But it's like he came back more like the old person that if he was still around all those people he was raised with.
Oh, okay.
Like he came back different. Like before he was a little bit more open to understanding things. But it seems like the older he got and the more that he was away from like me and the girls, the more of the, like the white, white male privileged person came back. But then he's like, oh, well, there's no privilege. And, oh, but, it's, well, you guys can get, there's government loans for, women of color, and there has to be a certain amount of this people to get this job, and there has to be a certain amount of that people to get that job, and, and the world there's no racism in the world. And I'll never forget him saying, oh, we're never going to have to worry about anyone, calling our children like an N-word.
What?
And yes, that's what he had said. And I'm like, you are in denial. Like, where are you at? Like, are you in the river or something? I don't get it. And then the first one that was called the N-word was our lightest child.
Wow. The irony.
Yeah, this saying, it only takes a drop. You know what I mean? And that's just how the world sees
exactly.
you. Yeah.
They let you know real quick where you stand. They do. Always do.
Exactly. And there was a lot of things that, because when I was driving his car down here, and when his car was registered in his name, and when the cars were all registered in his name and stuff like that, he mainly, because we were in the military, so everything was mainly like in his name to go on the bases and stuff, and we never really switched it over. I never got pulled over in my life as much as I did when I was driving my husband's cars. Like, it was our cars, but it was registered to him. They would pull me over, whatever, I was speeding. Yeah, I did that a lot, whatever. But then they would be like,
that's why they pulled you over.
They would be like, oh, so who is blah, blah, blah to you? They would ask me about him. And I would be like, okay, well, why are you asking me about him? Because do you see him in the car?
For real.
Give me my ticket.
For real.
What? Oh, well, ma'am, I'm just trying to say, because I'm like, whatever, do you see him anywhere around here? Or do you see me? So that happened. And the last time when I got pulled over, and I know this was just purely the guy was racist, never forget it. The girls and I, we were going to a gymnastic open night. And we were driving, and then the cop pulled me over, and he came up to my window, and the first words out of his mouth, he didn't ask me for my license, driver's license. He didn't ask me for my registration. He came up to my window and he said to me, whose car are you driving? Mm-hmm. That's what the police officer said to me. And then I said to him, you know whose car it is that I'm driving. And then
of course he does.
Like,
Kim would.
he was like, no, I don't. And I said, yes, you do. And I said, you didn't come up here and ask me for my driver's license. You didn't come up here and ask me for my registration, like what you're supposed to do. I said, the first thing you asked me is whose car I'm driving. And I said, and you know whose goddamn car it is that I'm driving. And I said, because when you were driving behind me, you pulled up on your little computer and you saw a big white face. That's what I said to him. And
I like
said,
you, Kim. Kim, both of us are going to get killed one day because we're going to stand up to the cops.
Damn.
I'm dead serious. Kim, I'm with you 100% how you approach these cops, because I'm telling you, Natalie, it's horrible being pulled over by the cops and being profiled. It's the worst thing ever.
It is.
It's demoralizing, it's horrible.
Yes, it is. And and then I was like, because you know whose car I'm driving, and then he was like, oh, well, and he goes, well, how would you? I said, everybody knows you guys have computers in your car. I'm like, I'm not stupid. I'm not. You have a computer. And then he was like, well, that's what you think. That's what you think because my computer was down. And I go, if your computer was down, then you wouldn't have asked me whose car it is that I'm driving.
Damn.
Exactly.
Oh man,
ridiculous.
So back to Kennedy. Go ahead. Finish your thought. Then we got to get back to Kennedy.
You just left Kennedy out.
Yeah, since I got my own car, it hasn't happened. But her dad never believed me when I told her they were pulling me over racially. He was like, no, you're just making that stuff up in your head.
What?
That's what he would always, yes.
Oh my God.
That's what he was always telling me. He's like, oh, you're just coming up with that stuff. And I don't understand why you get mad about, first he would always tell me, first of all, he'd say that I'm not really black because my mom is Jamaican.
Damn.
That was the other thing.
So Jamaicans aren't black now?
Right? We all black. It don't matter.
Oh my
God. As long as you get that little bit of tint, you black.
Natalie, I don't know, you know how it goes. They're like, oh, well, you're Jamaican, so you're not really black. I don't know if you've heard that before.
I've never got that.
I've heard that before. Yes, I've heard it before.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't consider you black because you're Jamaican.
Oh,
what?
wow.
What the hell?
Exactly. It's like I am black, and I was born in America, so yeah, I'm black, And so he's like, oh, well, you're not really black, and and you like to pretend like you were like racist, and I'm like, John, you just don't know because I don't tell you half the time because you just think that I'm an angry black person and I'm just making stuff up.
So Kim, real quick, and then we'll get to Kennedy. But because we got to wrap up soon. How does that make you feel? And how does that affect the way is that part of why you raised your daughters the way that you did, as far as educating them so much?
Yes, I did. I always wanted them to be educated. I just didn't want them to be like a lot of these, because I grew up around a lot of mixed kids and they didn't know, like their moms were Caucasian and they didn't know, anything about their black history or anything about themselves and to be happy with the black side of themselves or, they didn't know that. And I didn't want my girls to be like that. I want my girls to be empowered, by their skin, to know who they are, as also women of color and also, as women, because even though they're biracial, sometimes when people perceive you, it's what people perceive you as. You know what I mean?
Right.
So not everyone's going to look at you and be like, oh yeah, that's a biracial girl. Because we have a spectrum of colors.
That's
and,
true.
Being a black person, not all the time if you're light, you're biracial. Sometimes you're just light because you just come out light. And that's it.
Yeah, because I got a great niece, a great niece, and we always say she got a lot of milk in her coffee. And I had a neighbor actually say there was a white lady in my driveway, but she's 16, but she does look a little older. She's tall. And so, but she's very fair, but both of her parents, her mom is a little more fair. Both of her parents are black. And, and actually they're both Jamaican, but her grandma's got a lot of milk in her coffee. My brother, her grandpa is darker. He's got darker skin like me, but just, kind of into playing that with her, thinking someone thought she was white from the driveway. They thought she was a white lady. And, she identifies as black.
Why is there a white lady laying down in your driveway? White lady.
She thought she was old too. She's like, yeah, it's like a 30, 40-year-old lady.
Yeah,
I'm like, who is that?
What the hell? What's going on?
And I called my house and I was like, are you so I called my niece. I'm like, are you there? She's like, yeah. And I was like, was that so-and-so in the driver? She goes, yeah. I'm like, oh. So I text my neighbor. I'm like, yeah, that was my 16-year-old great niece. And she felt so bad.
Wow.
She felt so bad. But okay, so before we wrap up, I got to make sure I get Kennedy in here. Kennedy. Sorry, Kennedy. You got cut off.
Your mom took it all today, Kennedy.
Your mom got a lot on her mind, Kennedy. We had to let her get some of that steam off, right? So back to you with how with some of the differences with your dad and yourself and how that works, how that plays out in your relationship and everything like that. Is she there? Kim, did you make her get mad and she hung up?
Kennedy, are you there?
I was on mute. My bad.
Oh, damn, she was on mute.
Yeah,
all right, Kim, you didn't run her off too bad. That's good.
No, I was just saying, it's weird because, I feel like when I was younger, I didn't really, there wasn't any, problem. I didn't really, I guess, race wasn't an issue or anything. But now more so, my dad, I don't know, he just stresses me out.
Oh, man.
So is it frustrating for you? Is that what you're saying? Frustration?
What?
You're frustrated?
Yeah, he frustrates me. His viewpoints on things frustrates me.
Yeah,
and
I can
there are
understand
often
that.
times where me and my sisters have to sit him down and we try our hardest to educate him. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's just more so on topic, and it's even dumb things like the virus that's going on around right now, or what was the other thing? Oh, it's just what you should do if your friends have said racist things and all, because we've some people
of his family members.
Yeah, some of his family members on my dad's side have said some things where I'm like, father, you need to say something. Like, we had to tell. And, like, eventually he did, but, like, we would have to tell our father sometimes to, like, you need to say something because that's not right. Like, that's not fair.
Wow.
And then, yeah, so it's just, like, things like that. But I would say for the perception of what he looks like super hillbilly, like redneck type country, he is a little more cultured than
that's true.
so I would say that, which is
right. I mean, you have to be to marry a black woman, especially a strong black woman like your mom.
For real.
Your mom's got a lot of your mom's got a lot of personality.
The strongest. I love you, Kim. I do.
She got a strong person. I should say strong personality.
Oh, she does. Say. Oh man.
But that's okay. I'm like you, Kim. I'm similar, so I get it. So, but yeah. So I mean, yeah. For him to do that, he's got to have some enlightenment or some understanding.
But it seems like it kind of like the more he's been like with more of his people, it seems like it's slowly fades. Like since Trump's been in office, it empowers him. It's like more. Yes, it's more things. Like we'll sit down and like we were watching Roots, and I think I did put this on my Facebook.
Oh Lord,
we were watching Roots, and
I can't watch this stuff.
It was the new one. And then they were showing when the other Africans were capturing the other Africans and like having them. So we were all watching it. So that part came on. And then he kind of turned around to look at me. And I said, shut your mouth. Get out of the room. Get out of the room.
Oh, my God. He didn't get a chance to say nothing.
I was like, don't you say not one word. Because, that's what they're like, oh, well, black people, they stole, Africans stole, so there's two. And I'm like, but it was different when they were you guys don't seem to understand
it's not the same thing, yeah.
When you were a slave in Africa, then when you were a slave here in America by, white people, it's two totally different things.
I mean, a slave is a slave, so, I mean, they both were treated probably pretty bad, but...
No, it's a difference, Kennedy, because when the Africans, what would happen is when I conquer your tribe, yes, you become my slave, so you guys are kind of beneath us, but you can also have a standing. You can end up marrying somebody in my tribe, getting your own house, having your own property.
That is correct, Kim. That is correct.
You can start doing that. That never happened to black slaves. They weren't allowed to own their property.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, in general, I know that, but a slave is a slave, but it's different. So it's like you've got to take different things. And I even remember too when I was talking about, I can't remember what it was. It was something about black people getting killed and stuff like that. And then I'll never forget, John had put on my post. He then put something up. Yeah, no, he had put something up about Irish people being slaves and being slaves and being mistreated.
I think Brian yelled at him real good a while ago.
He started saying stuff about, oh, well, Irish people when they came over. And man, did I blast him on my I was like, John, if you don't get that off Facebook.
There is truth to that, but it is a different type of, it's different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's different, but it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same
thing. But it's not the same. And then I was like, let's not forget all those Irish people that you're talking about, how they were mad when the Civil War came around. They were upset, and because they had to go on the draft, that they started killing black people that had nothing to do with them being drafted. They went around and they murdered a bunch of black people in New York. They were hanging them, and I said, so don't talk to me about no damn Irish people, John.
Wow.
I was like, no, I said, black people were not running around hanging Irish people.
Right.
I said, we didn't do that. So it's like, don't talk to me about that.
So the crazy part about all this,
micro aggressions like that upset me with him. Because I mean, just like watching documentaries, like sometimes we watched the Trayvon Martin one, we watched the 16 shot one. Sometimes I'm like, you can't watch this with me, or something like that. I'll tell him like, you can't watch this. Or
I love your passion, Kim. I love it.
Yeah,
I love your
like
passion
that, because it aggravates me, and it's like. to me, I feel like they know what they're doing, but they just choose to choose to be stupid about it. Like, people know for a fact that there is racism. I mean, you can't not see it. But you choose not to see it by choice. You choose to deny it. And that's what I feel that a lot of people with this, all lives matter, and why does this black or blue lives matter?
It's I find it very hurtful.
Yeah, don't tell me no blue lives matter when you can go home and take off your uniform and ain't nobody going to know you're a cop. We can't take off the color of our skin.
Right. Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And the same thing if you're, homosexual or, whatever, if you don't tell somebody that, someone probably wouldn't know. You know what I mean? Nobody will know just by looking at you.
Right. I mean, being black is something you can't change it no matter what there's nothing that you can do to change that. Because even look at Michael Jackson, he tried to bleach his skin or whatever happened with his skin, but everybody still know he black. He still looked as what you would call black. So, that is that one thing. Yeah. There's nothing you can do to change that. Mm-hmm.
There's nothing we can do to change that. To change that we're black, I mean, I'm black.
And then that affects how we're treated.
Oh, no.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's, and there's other things that, and I personally, and with everything that's been going on in the world, I feel like Caucasian people are getting nervous because they're feeling like their power is slipping a little bit more. And the more they feel their power is slipping, the crazier they start getting. And that's why you have to check anybody that that's like Caucasian or another color saying stuff. We can't let these microaggressions pass us without saying anything and checking people.
Right.
We can't always be, okay, well, I'm going to just, put up my head and just ignore this and, and all this. Oh, I don't see color. Stop it. You're wearing that red dress. So just don't sit there and say you don't see color.
Right, that's true. Yeah, because you do, because it's a natural thing. Doesn't mean you have to treat me differently because you see my color, but you see that we have that there are differences.
It's their defense mechanism that they use.
But a lot of people right now, it's fear, unfortunately. And I mean, I've had people who I've known for a long time who I now, I've been hurt to know that they can't see. Fortunately, most people I know who aren't black get it. But there have been those who I have spoken to who don't get it. And it's just hurtful. It's hurtful it's hurtful to know that you can't see me as who I am and know what I might be going through. Like, you can't even recognize that. You don't have to understand it because it takes time for understanding, but at least to recognize and say, you know what? Yes, there is a problem of racial profiling, or yes, black people are treated differently in this country, but to not be able to at least say that's hurtful to me more than anything else. And I get what you're saying.
And they don't want to, they don't want to acknowledge it, and then, oh, well, you had a black president, so
right.
The world ain't so right. We had a black president. It's like, stop it.
Right.
Just
I get it.
It's still, there's still so much stuff going on in the world, like with all these new cases, with, the new Elijah boy that, the boy that with the violin, and now people are finding out about this. It's just,
people.
It's so heartbreaking.
The good thing is, the more people who are able to see, technology has its good and its bad, but the one plus, it's been a major thing as an eye opener for so many people, being able to show what people have been saying, and so now people can't deny it anymore. Thank you. Yeah, but to wrap things up, though, Kim, I know. Even though you and your husband and your family, you have these racial differences. But the one thing, you're still able to come together, and you guys have been able to raise, 3 great daughters, and get along and be married for this long in spite of your differences, So, they say love wins. And so, that's
I don't know about that.
You got enough love. You're pessimistic like I am about stuff like that. I'm like that. Yeah. So, but both of y'all, but you've been able to, even despite of your differences, you've been able to hold it together and make those differences work, right? For your family and to raise, 3 great daughters who are well-rounded, and smart, beautiful women. So that is a kudos to both of you, right? So we want to thank you for coming on the show, Kim, and thank you for Kennedy. Kennedy, I know your mom's got a lot to say, but
she stole the show, Kennedy. She stole the entire show.
But Kennedy had her own hour before, so But we do appreciate both of you coming on, and I know Ian's been wanting to talk to you on the show for a long time, Kim, because he knows that you're opinionated and you're fun, and we all like to have a good time and talk about these things at the same time. So we do appreciate you guys coming on, and
thank you.
All right, and hopefully we'll have you guys on again.
Have us back again.
Oh, we will. We'll find something else to talk about. We'll get something different to talk about.
Okay.
And you guys can come back on.
I'm sorry to interrupt you before you leave, but let me give a quick shout out to everybody in the audience to let them know to listen to our podcast on all the streaming forums. Please listen to us at Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Podcast Addict, and we have a Facebook page, The Family Mess Podcast, Instagram at The Family Mess, and Twitter, The Family Mess at ¡Family_mess.
All right, Kennedy, we may have you on by yourself, Kennedy, so you can talk. All right, but thanks to you both. All right.
Take care, guys.
Okay, thank you, guys. Okay,
all right.
bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Mess, family mess. It's funny.